guys, welcome back to Nintendo Minute. Today, not at the studio.
Field trip. The name on the wall says Rocket League. So we're at Psyonix in beautiful San Diego to check out the game, check out the studio. Let's check it out.
So we're here with Jeremy at Psyonix Studios. Very excited to be here today to talk about Rocket League.
Yes, thank you very much. We're really excited to have you guys here. Super excited to show you around the place,
Yes.
show you what we do to make Rocket League, and maybe learn some stuff as we go.
Yeah.
So we just showed up at your doorstep.
Yeah.
We'd love to see what your office is like, where the game gets made.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah. Let's
take
go.
a
All the
Row
bling here.
of beautiful
Yes.
awards.
Which of these are you most proud of?
I'll be honest with you, each one has a different level of pride for us because they symbolize different things. So we have our BAFTAs. We're the first game ever to win BAFTAs in back-to-back years. The rest of the awards, I think, are just really nice reminders to let us know that we're still making something that's live and that people are excited about. And the best thing about these awards is that they're not just from the year that we came out. We continue to get them to this day, which is really encouraging. This is our production area right over here, and this is our UI and engineering area. This is basically where a lot of the decisions are made for how the game is built and in what order, make sure that everyone's on the same schedule. A lot of the day-to-day problems that need to be solved are done by a large amount of people in this group. And this is where our designers are. And this is where a lot of the ideas and concepts for Rocket League first start bearing fruit. And they experiment a lot. They talk about what sort of features would make Rocket League more interesting. And everything from the main game itself to our latest modes, drop shot, hoops, things like that, come from this department and this group of people. They're really super creative. We have a lot of the staff right now is focused on the Switch version to make sure that it's done in time for our release.
I think we're being distracted by a Super Smash
I
Brothers
know,
game happening over in the
of
corner.
my eye.
It's true.
So you got some Nintendo fans in the office, which
I
is
shed
always
a tear of joy right here.
So
Exciting to
one
see.
of the great things about working on the Switch version of Rocket League is that we do have an enormous amount of players in the studio that are big Nintendo fans. Smash Brothers is literally a daily thing that happens at
On the
Psyonix.
calendar.
It doesn't even need to be on the calendar because it's actually just part of the routine
Everybody
now.
Nice.
knows.
Right, it's actually a lot more competitive. They're being civil because they know you're here. But usually, it's a lot more cutthroat than this. One of the big motivators for us coming to Switch, just knowing that we have this many fans. The second we decided to do it as a team, everyone was super jazzed, and it's been this really passionate, nonstop effort since we started development. And it's something I think that's really going to show when we're done with the game.
Yeah.
No Johns in Super Smash Brothers.
No Johns in Rocket League. That's the
the
lesson
rule.
that they're
Yeah.
learning right now.
This department here is our art department.
You can always tell by the amazing drawings that are on the whiteboards
You can.
that
I
you're
hope-
in the art department.
A+ whiteboards.
I'm glad they've erased anything questionable. But this is the section that creates all the content in the game that you see, whether it's the cars and the customization items that you'd see on those cars to the environments themselves and the special effects. That's all happens here, all the way back to the very beginning when you're just talking about concepts. You have a concept artist in-house here that work with us too.
And for the Nintendo Switch version, you have some really cool cars inspired by Nintendo characters as well.
Oh yeah.
Are those done by these brainiacs over here?
They are actually. So the cars you're speaking of, we have the Mario NSR and the Luigi NSR, and we also have Samus's gunship from
Yes.
Metroid.
So cool.
And those original ideas did come from this group right over here.
Awesome.
We went through a lot of iteration with Nintendo.
Yeah.
We sent them some ideas, they sent us some ideas, and it was really when we found a certain sort of feeling that their concept art was giving us, and we compared that to what we were doing, and we put the two together that we finally hit the exact sort of vehicles that we were looking for. And everybody knew when we got it, particularly the Samus car.
Yeah.
When we found that one, everyone here
I
knew,
was
like,
just
that's
excited
awesome.
about it. It felt good. And
And
yeah.
we sent it to Nintendo, and the immediate reaction there was, "Oh, that's great,
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
perfect." There was no adjustment to be made, and
That's
those are the
amazing.
sorts of magic moments that
Yeah,
are really cool.
exactly. Yeah.
This is our second floor at Psyonix, and this is where a good portion of the publishing activities take place. So to my right over here, you can see this is where our customer support and graphic design team rests, and they're getting in the
Halloween
spirit for
spirit,
Halloween
yep.
right now, which
Nice.
is just around the corner. And then we actually have a good amount of meeting rooms down here. So if people have things that they need to talk about, we have a lot of different themed meeting rooms after Rocket League cars. This area here is where I sit. It's also where our marketing community teams sit, our esports teams. This is where we do a lot of our public-facing initiatives. These are the folks that interact with our community on a day-to-day basis, that help organize our tournaments, our competitive events, and basically create the overall plan for how we get Rocket League out to more and more people on a day-to-day basis. And that, in a nutshell, is Psyonix today.
Awesome.
We're 3 times what we were when we launched, and hopefully we're going to continue to add to the team even more aggressively in the future and make the game bigger and better, and make sure that when it's on Switch, that it's the perfect Rocket League experience.
It's very exciting. So now that we've had a chance to take a look around the office, I think the most logical choice is maybe go play
Play
the
the
game.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna do that next. So
Cool.
we'll be right
Thank
back.
you.
All right, so we are back. We've settled
All right, this is Rocket League.
in a beautiful corner of your lovely office to play some Rocket League.
Yes.
And we have Kit playing, and we also added a
The wonderful
person.
Bobby.
We
Thank you.
added
Hello.
Bobby.
Joining us.
Bobby's a producer on this game.
That's
so
correct.
Bobby, you know a lot about this game.
I do. Yep.
Kit knows some about this game.
What do you get if you win?
Pride.
I hadn't thought about this.
I'm okay with when you guys said steaks, my immediate thought was steaks.
Steak.
Oh, you
Steak
do get a
dinner,
steak
yes.
if you win, actually. Let's just go with that.
So for a steak dinner.
That's a win-win. We're both getting steaks.
That's right.
Let's go.
So the first mode that we're going to take a look at is Soccer.
Yes, this is the standard Rocket League mode. This is what basically made the game famous and what the game is at its core. Right now, they're playing a more traditional park called Beckwith Park, and it's actually named after 2 of our level designers here,
Oh, cool.
Ben and Adam, who've been with the company forever. The things that we take a lot of pride in is the fact that right now you're playing it split screen
That's right.
on Switch. With, as you can see, it looks and feels like Rocket League should.
Right.
And that's the thing that we're most proud of. And when we decided to take the project on to bring this to Switch, we wanted to make sure that players had the
That
truest Rocket
true
League experience.
right? So you're playing as Luigi, right?
Actually,
Or
yes.
you're playing, yes, you're playing as, or you're in the Luigi car.
Correct.
But not only is the car, modeled after Luigi's character, color design, wearing the cute hat, but it also has like the boost is the superstar.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, and for the Metroid car, its boost is the wave beam.
right,
And
right.
so we did that on purpose. We wanted to make sure that if you were going to play as a car inspired by a
Nintendo
beloved
character.
Nintendo
Yeah.
franchise or character, we wanted to make sure it was the complete experience.
Exactly, and when you jump, when the Luigi car jumps, it makes like the jump
Yeah,
sound.
same
from the
sound,
game.
the whole thing.
Yeah, I love the detail. It's so cool. And Kit is the same as Shit.
Yeah, and I'm on the orange team now, but you were saying that if I had been on the blue team, I would have more of a blue design inspired by the Zero Suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. And the same on the same token, if you were on the red team with NSR, it would be the Mario rather than Luigi.
Right, right.
So speaking about being a
Those.
first timer, which
Yeah.
certainly isn't me, if you are new to Rocket League, what is a couple of quick tips that you
Right.
would share?
Well, I think the number one tip that I would share is be patient. A lot of new players to Rocket League have a tendency to try to rush the ball and score as soon as possible. But a lot of the more seasoned players are already expecting you to do that and are looking for players to make that easy mistake. Another very important element, and I'll let Bobby speak to this a little bit if he can. If you can do two things at once,
I
Bobby.
think I can. I got 2 points on him. So.
Comeback turns is on. Yeah.
Is understanding the aerial game. Bobby, you want
yes.
to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. The interesting about the aerial game, I think it's the step above just holding the fundamentals. So what you'll find is as soon as you can actually control the ball confidently in the air, the game even evolves further beyond that. So you'll start wanting to be able to come off the wall and being able to follow the ball and knock it into the goal. Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic part of the game. So generally for beginners, I like to encourage them to stick to the ground game and worry about the cool tricks in the air later. But it will come and it will evolve your game pretty massively.
My strategy was to dominate.
Yeah.
It didn't play out.
Didn't work out for you.
That's a little broad. You might want to go.
Focus a little bit more.
That's as focused as I can be.
But I mean, that was the key. Is we want people to, whether you're Kid or Bobby or anyone else out there, when you play the game, that you
Yeah.
feel like that is you on the
On
field.
that field.
And that really is the
exactly.
spectrum, from
Yes.
Kit to Bobby.
That's right.
Right.
Bobby being a 10.
A lot further than me.
Kit being somewhere in the 3 range. Cool. So that was Soccer.
Yes.
We're gonna check out another mode.
That's right.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So we're gonna set that up and be right back. Okay. So we're back. Mode 2 that we're checking out today.
I'm in a stake to Bobby.
right.
You're
Maybe I
in a
can break
stake.
even here. And if we break even, nobody gets a stake, so we
That's
can't
true.
have that.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is drop shots.
Correct.
A little bit different. So maybe one of you, Bobby,
Not me.
not Kit, one of you meaning Bobby, or Jeremy, can walk us through what this is all about.
Well, Drop Shot is basically our homage to a classic game called Breakout. And for people who have played that game, you might remember that it was all about breaking
Tiles,
bricks with the
right?
balls.
Yes.
And so this way, this is more of like a 3D space. What if our ball is the Rocket League ball and the bricks are the floor? And so unlike a lot of other Rocket League modes where you're hitting the ball into a goal
Right.
like you would in traditional football/soccer, this time you're creating your own goals by hitting the floor strategically to create more space to drop the ball in. And
Right.
sometimes these can get really intense because it's just a matter of making sure the right person was the last one to touch the ball, so that
Right.
they've
The
powered
ball's
it
changing
enough.
colors.
Yes.
So we got orange team, blue team.
Orange team, blue team.
When-
And that tells you who the last team to touch
To
it was.
touch the ball was, right?
Yes.
And so if it's the ball is blue and you hit a orange
You want to be on the
tile,
orange side.
it would break
Yes.
that tile if you hit it two
Correct.
times. Is that what it is?
Yes, the first time will light it up,
Light it
and
up.
let you know how much of an
Yep.
area it's lit, and then the second time it will break the hole, and then depending on the charge and which section of the floor you're hitting is how much of the floor is actually affected.
Yep. And then that becomes your goal, and then
Yes.
you can hit the ball into that. That's so interesting.
Yeah. We also have what's called mutators in Rocket League,
Mm-hmm.
and there are dozens upon dozens of different combinations that allow you to change ball size and type and gravity and the
And
physics.
that just changes the game completely.
Yeah. You can you can change so many elements of the game. You can essentially create your own version of Rocket League on the fly with you and a couple of friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Based
and
on your own preferences.
exactly,
Yeah.
and we hope that those are the sorts of things that give Rocket League that long-term life.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you play it, there's always
There's
a new
always
way to
something
play it.
something new for you to discover.
Exactly.
So another thing that we're seeing here is that there's some changes to the vehicles. So we
Yes.
have the Samus gunship in a more
Yep.
zero suit
I'm on the blue
style.
team, so I have
Yes.
the zero suit design.
I love how even the wheels have like the pink in it, because on the back of Samus's zero
Yes.
suit is
Yeah.
her pink. It like lights up pink. So again, the details, they're amazing.
We have hardcore Nintendo fans throughout the building.
Yeah.
When we were working on these vehicles, they wanted to make sure they got everything right. We
Yeah.
combed over every
It-
inch of the models, making
It's
sure
just
they were cool.
amazing. Just immediately looking at this vehicle, you know it's Zero Suit Samus. Like it doesn't look like Zero Suit Samus, but you know that it's completely inspired by that, and it's just so amazing. And then of course, Mario is our other vehicle.
Yes, and that's if you
Bobby's
select.
using here.
And that's if you're on the orange team instead of the blue team.
Right.
And but if you were on the blue team instead of the orange team, then it would be Luigi,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get the traditional Samus color if you're on the orange team.
Right.
With that car.
So cool. So, how are we doing here? Bobby's still dominating.
I don't know if I call one,
about the score
one
right
nothing
here.
dominating.
I mean, one person has one person has zero.
I just got obliterated, but he didn't score.
It's been a pretty close game though. Only one
Yes.
goal recently scored.
That's right.
I'm a fast learner. I'm mostly just cheap. I don't want to buy mistakes.
I like how Barry just starts laughing when you said that.
I've known Kid a long time.
You said that in a despairing kind of way, which I understand that, by the way. It's
what he said,
okay.
he's known me a long time.
I have
knows
to.
enough.
Ah, there it goes.
Tie game.
No, that's good.
Nice.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yep.
Oh. So now it's getting a little tricky because a lot of the floor has fallen out.
Yeah.
I'm the
So
wolf.
now
I am
it's-
the wolfman. You see.
And this is actually one of those game modes where a experience of someone like Bobby is negated a little bit because it's not the traditional way to play Rocket
Right.
League. It's
Right.
a different way. So some of the typical strategies he might use or techniques he might use
He's
might not come into
probably
play.
has to
here.
change it up a little bit for
Exactly.
this. Yeah.
Unless it was me, I would lose automatically every time. I'm so terrible at our own game.
And you were saying that you have tons of people in the office, like
We
on your
do.
QA
And-
team, and so that's just like amazing
Yes,
at this,
and they're
right?
all
So-
better than me.
Yeah. Oh, and me as well.
Every single one.
See, my thing is that you don't have to be nice. You don't have to be.
you?
That was beautiful.
Somebody hit it in for
You don't
us.
have to be like good at everything. You can still play and have fun.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's our
that
fun.
doesn't matter.
That was actually our one of our mantras when we were designing the game, is that
Yeah.
we wanted you to have fun even if you were losing.
Exactly.
And that's why we've put as many different things in there as we could to make sure it was entertaining for you.
Yeah.
If this mode isn't your cup of tea,
There's
maybe
different
try
ones
these
to choose
thousands
from,
of
things
other
to
options.
customize. I mean, I think Kid's been losing. He's having a great time. Look at
As somebody who's not actually good at the game, despite what I may have been saying, I like how you can drive in a very flashy way and be very acrobatic
Yeah.
as you go about.
The reality is that if you lose, that's two, and that's definitely
Two
a steak
steaks,
for
yeah.
Bobby.
That's 2 steaks.
Are you gonna
Well, the
eat
reality
steaks?
is I'm getting on an
I'll
airplane
save
in
one
about
for-
an hour, so you can either come
Well,
with me
mail
or we
you a
can forego
steak.
these steaks.
No, that's
Airport steak. That's what we're getting.
Oh, I hope you're hungry.
Oh,
Oh.
Well done.
nice.
Well,
Well, we are here. You are the producer. You got to bring it.
Yeah. I
So.
didn't want to embarrace you on your home turf.
No, I
you know,
understand.
that'd be
Future
bad.
Turlers
That's
fan.
not
bad
where I was
working.
going with that.
That'd be bad for
You
morale.
made it very
Yeah.
malicious, but I was
Right.
trying to be nice. Anyways. So, thank you so much for taking
Sure
us
thing.
through this. We're so very excited that Rocket League's coming to Nintendo Switch. We can't wait to play it. We're playing in TV mode right now. Obviously, you guys have pro controllers, but obviously with Nintendo Switch, you can take the game in
Take it with you.
handheld, tabletop. I know that there's there's been trips that you guys have taken on airplanes, and you've been playing Rocket League.
We were on a company holiday together, and we brought our kids in, and we were all playing with 8 switches.
Nice.
On local multiplayer wireless. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
The kids had a great time. We took lots of pictures.
There you go.
It's great.
Yeah. So one last thing, we have yet to tell everyone when this game comes out. You know, though.
We do.
What,
we know
what
when
do
this
we
game
have?
comes
How
out.
many stakes do
Can
I
you
have
tell
to
us?
give you to make you tell us the answer
Well,
to that?
if you were to give us one a day every day from now until release, it wouldn't be that many because Rocket League is coming into the Switch on November 14th.
Yay!
Very, very soon, just around the corner. We're really excited to bring it to everybody, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we think you're going to.
We know you're going to.
All right, great.
Confirmed.
There you go. You heard it here first. Rocket League is coming for Nintendo Switch on November 14th. We are so very excited, and thank you again for showing us around the office, for playing
Anytime.
with us. We had a great time. And remember,
Nintendo Minute is never a minute.
we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.